slowly but surely. After reading this chapter, I think the big picture is slowly starting to formulate together frame by frame. One Piece chapter number 1107. Now I got this whiteboard here because there's a lot of stuff that I need to remember to talk about, because if I forget, I'm an L YouTuber. No, I'm just playing. I don't need this. Sometimes you can just tell before you even read a chapter. Like, you could tell just off of the base cover if it's gonna be a W chapter. This chapter started off, I thought that, oh my God, I only seen half of it. I only seen half of the cover story. I thought that it was, you know, we finally get to see what Beppo and Law got going on. I thought something would, like, he looked like he was cool, he was chilling, you know, not hurt anymore or anything like that. And then I scroll down and it's a cover request. It's not even a cover story. That was a perfect opportunity to give us like a off-screen showage of what's going on with Law. But what that means is we're gonna see what's going on with Law on screen, and I'm here for it, bro. But I didn't appreciate the debate, and I didn't appreciate it showing only half of the cover request because I thought it was a cover story. But would I be okay with Law getting an off-screen kind of cover request arc? He's too much of a main character in order to get that kind of treatment. Yeah, I wouldn't like it. How's everyone's day going? Because my day is off to a great start. After reading this chapter was fire, bro. If you haven't read the chapter already, read the chapter, because you know what's about to go down. And if you're leaving the video, make sure you push all them buttons that you see before you dip out. Then come back and then let's talk about this chapter. And if you already read the chapter and you're here to talk about it with me, push the buttons. You know what I'm talking about. So this here chapter starts off, we finally get to see like a full page spread of what's going on basically with Dory and Bragi. They are co-captains of the giant warrior pirates. And it looks like, including Dory and Bragi, there's like 7 or 8 of them. If like one of them is like off screen, there's like 8 of them. But on screen, we see 7 of them, which means this is like a 7-person crew. And they're saying, sink everything you see, surround the island, destroy everything, and then collide in the middle. So they got a lot of coordination going on. Right now, we got some real marine tactics going on. W to Dory and Bragi for that. So we get the full name of exactly what Dory and Bragi are. They say that Dory is known as the Blue Ogre and Bragi is known as the Red Ogre. If this was said like earlier in the show for a specific reason, I don't remember why. Let me know in the comments. But, you know, I don't remember everything. I'm not perfect. We finally get to see Oimo and Kashi. It's been so long since we've seen them. And my boy Usopp sees them as well. He was like, my masters. I could say easily Usopp hasn't seen them in like 2.5 years. It's been a long time since he's seen them, because after the time skip, I don't really know exactly how much time has passed since the time skip, but it's been, I'd say, a nice amount of time since the time skip, right? Like excluding the Doflamingo arc, you know, Dressrosa, that all took place in a day. But Wano, we're now looking at Egghead, is already, a day is already passed in Egghead. Wano, that we were at Wano for a long time. You're not gonna sit here and tell me that happened within like a week or something. We was there for maybe a month or 2 maybe. And not to mention all the Straw Hats that went there ahead of time. And then while we were still at Zou, they dipped off to Wano. So the chapter gives us a refresher on the giant warrior pirates. So I will give that refresher to you guys because I sure needed it. I haven't seen these guys in so long. So what it says is, long ago, the world was terrorized by this formidable group led by co-pilots, Dory and Bragi. Their crew would disband after their captains got into a certain quarrel. Luffy and the gang helped them out all that time ago when they had their century-long duel, and they interrupted it. Later on, while storming a different island, they would encounter and befriend Oimo and Kashi, a pair of giants who set out to check on their captains. And it ended up working out because they're good now. They're good. They're back together. They're back buddy, and they're here to help Luffy. So here we are. So Usopp, Nami get a call from Brook. Brook is still with Lilith. Lilith is trying to formulate a plan in order to get this ship to stop because they are currently skidding on ice right now that Brook has created, and they're about to fall off the edge of the island. And this is like a perfect opportunity for one of the giants to just catch the ship. Like next chapter, I mean, that seems like the most like probable thing to happen. But, you know, Oda has a way of, if somebody predicts something, he just does it in a different way. Like, do you be watching my videos, bro? Do you watch everybody else's videos and you just decide to do something else? But I think one of the pirates, one of the giant warrior pirates, it doesn't really matter who. They might catch the ship and either throw it where it needs to go or put it down safely or whatever. But that should be the end of that right there. Or everything could go wrong and we're gonna need a new ship. And you know, everyone's gonna cry. We finally see the fight between Zoro and Rob Lucci. So it seems as if in this particular situation, of course, Rob Lucci is not a pushover, but Zoro is obviously he's like way stronger than Rob Lucci. But it seems like this here is a situation where he doesn't just want to kill Rob Lucci. He doesn't just want to one-shot him and kill him because, you know, Zoro isn't like, he isn't just a bloodthirsty murderer, even though he's murdered a lot of people, you know, a lot. But in this situation, obviously Zoro is stronger than Rob Lucci, but like Rob Lucci's just like not going down from these strikes that Zoro is doing. I don't see any haki, any conquerors, any kind of haki going on. He's just fighting him straight up and he's not going down from these attacks. And Zoro's kind of getting annoyed. So where we see Jinbei finally pull up, he's at the point where Zoro is just like, okay, I'm done with this. All right, you gotta go. You know, it's time for you to go. We get a quick cameo to Vice Admiral Butt Chin. He's like, oh my God, why do we have to fire on our own weapons? This shit is crazy. I have 7 butt chins. And we skip over to the main battle. And Bonnie's just crying up a storm. And then Luffy notices, he's like, bro, what you crying for? And she's like, do you not know who you are? And Luffy finally gets the information of who exactly he is. And he's like, who's Nika? And then he kind of, you know, blows past that and he was like, bro, what was that weak ass punch you did earlier? Let me show you how to do it for real. Hits, and then Bonnie's like, okay, if you're gonna show me a punch, do it on Saturn, bro. He's like, all right, bet. Does a Blooming Dawn Gatling gun on Saturn. And I mean, if we're going off of impact and damage and, you know, what happens afterwards, I mean, looking at it, obviously it hurts. Like he sent them crashing into like, you know, like 7-8 buildings, you know, just like Kizaru, but Kizaru really didn't get up for a while. He did. He got up, you know. Speaking of Kizaru, there is a nice little scene going on with Atlas, Vegapunk, Bonnie. They're like, okay, it's time for you to get up. It's time to go. Vegapunk's like, bro, if I move, I'm gonna die. Like, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. If I move, I'm done for. And Kizaru's like, all right, bet. Well, let me just go ahead and finish you off real quick. The homie Sanji says, nah, bro. He kicks the light laser from Kizaru out of the way. Now that is a feat. That is a feat for sure. That is a feat for sure. I don't care what you say. That's a feat. So what exactly? I'm not just gonna go into the specifics of it, but Sanji was able to ping off one of Kizaru's light attacks. I wouldn't say light speed. I don't even want to give it that property because then, you know, all the min-maxers and all the what are they called? What are they called? All the power scalers are gonna go crazy if I say that he blocked a light speed attack. But he blocked one of Kizaru's attacks, which is definitely a feat. And like he says like a real cold line. He's like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to leave here with y'all heads. You know, that's my orders. That's what I gotta do. And then Sanji says, well, you might as well go ahead and get started on your apology letter because that's not happening, bro. And then he kind of gives like a crazy explanation to how, you know, he was able to block Kizaru's attack. He said, love beats lasers. And I'm like, whatever, bro. He said, light doesn't hold a candle to love. Like, and then Kizaru takes that literally. He was like, okay, we're just gonna have to start physics over from scratch because how does love touch a, bro? How does love touch any kind of, how does love touch light? You know, explain that for me. But we know like Sanji got the exoskeleton, the souped up body 2.0. He's fast as I don't know what. He got fire legs, bro. Any of those could have been an explanation rather than just love. And a small part of the chapter, but honestly, in my opinion, probably the most important part of the chapter, which probably would need its own entire video to talk about, but we're just gonna talk about it in this here video. We finally see the Blackbeard pirates here on Egghead. Now, was I wrong? Like, was I tripping? Or was it supposed to be Katarina Devon and Lafitte here? But we see it's Katarina Devon and Van Auger, and they finally pop up. They show up right next to where Saturn is, and they're like, to think a grand elder would pop up here and show his presence. It's so unheard of. And she walks up to Saturn, touches him, mission complete, she says. Now, that right there, it gets me thinking. It gets me thinking a lot. What was the original plan for Katarina Devon and Van Augur here at Egghead? Because I truly believe that being able to transform into one of the members of the Five Elders was not the original plan. I thought maybe it had something to do specifically. It was Van Augur. Wait, what? Van Augur was the one that teleported the food to Luffy and teleported Luffy to the food. Wait, what? Did he already awaken his fruit and he shot a warp bullet at Luffy and it hit Luffy and teleported Luffy somewhere else? Shot the food and then brought the food to... What? Wait, what? Wait, what? Because we see later in the chapter on this same panel that Van Augur has the warp fruit. Wait, what? Why? Remember last chapter, a couple of chapters ago, Luffy got teleported away from the fight because he was about to lose, right? He got teleported away and he got food teleported right in front of him. He randomly had some food in front of him. There was no one else that could have did this. I truly believe that it was S-Paw that did this. But Van Augur also has a kind of warp fruit. And it looked like when he teleported, right? Because Saturn was just about to attack Katarina and Lafitte. Not Lafitte, Van Augur. He pops away, and it doesn't even look like he doesn't have to touch the target. So it doesn't even look like he has to touch the target. So that's gotta mean that he did it, which means, why though? Why? Wait, why? See, Blackbeard, you are becoming more and more interesting each and every time I see you, because you're playing weird right now, bro. You're playing weird. You're helping, like you're helping Luffy, but I know you're not helping him, bro. Like that right there, that had to have been like some kind of order from Blackbeard himself. Hey, make sure Luffy does not die, or make sure, Luffy is brought to me, but this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Why would Van Augur help Luffy? Why? Obviously he doesn't know this. They're inevitably gonna fight. There's going to be a Straw Hat versus Blackbeard pirate. There's gonna be a battle between the two. And this just makes things complicated, because I don't know if Luffy's ever gonna know that Van Augur did what he did, but I don't understand why. Is he trying to snake him? Or does he need Luffy alive for whatever his purpose is? For whatever it is that he's trying to do, he needs Luffy alive. That's the only thing that can maybe explain exactly what's going on, but that's crazy. It was Van Augur that helped Luffy in that situation, brought the food to him, and it makes sense because when he teleported away, he did not have to touch Katarina Devon. And if he said he hasn't mastered his ability, but maybe he doesn't even have to have had his fruit awakened. Maybe it's not awakened, but all he has to do is see the person that he wants to teleport, or see whatever it is that he wants to teleport. And in that case, maybe it doesn't have to be awakened and he shot like a warp bullet or something like that. But it looks like they've been there on that battlefield the whole time, just kind of waiting for their opportunity. Now, my question is, what was the initial plan? Because obviously Saturn showing up there was not the initial plan. So maybe it had something to do with Luffy, and maybe Katarina Devon was supposed to touch Luffy, and maybe Blackbeard has some person with some kind of fruit copying or power copying ability, and all you got to do is look at the person that you want to copy or something like that. And maybe, you know, this is like crazy theories, but this singular couple panels right here is crazy for the future of One Piece and what's to come, because this was a chess move of like all chess moves. Like, this is crazy. And we don't even end off the chapter at that. We end off the chapter after Saturn tries to attack Katarina Devon and Van Augur. We see he finally gets he gets his moment. Mr. Snake Caribou, he's like, bro, take me with you. I'm such a big fan of Teach. We know he's lying, bro. He's trying to do whatever he can in order to, you know, go back to his slicky, slimy ways. And if it's, you know, going with Teach, then that may be the case. Now, next chapter, I don't know if we're gonna find out exactly what happens here. I mean, they might take him with them because he has like the warp fruit, or this could be another opportunity for like, you know, a crazy funny moment where they're just like, nah, and then they just leave. Or, you know, this gives a little bit more shine on Caribou. Now, if Caribou goes with Katarina Devon and Van Augur and he joins the Blackbeard Pirates, this could set up, you know, a very, very good story moment in the future whenever the Blackbeard Pirates fight the Straw Hats. Caribou finally goes with Blackbeard, gets away from the Straw Hats and that crazy prison barrel that he was in. And he gets a little bit of payback, you know, he gets to fight back the people that have been holding him prisoner for so long. But obviously he's gonna get boxed, or he may pull up the Blackbeard and just get his fruit taken away from him, which, you know, honestly, it's a high percentage chance of that happening. And then he really just doesn't have anything, like he has nothing. But this was a crazy chapter, and we're not on break next week, so we get to continue through this next week, and we're gonna see what happens and what Oda has in store for us. But boy, was this a jam-packed chapter of a lot of craziness, bro. This chapter was crazy simply for what just happened with Katarina Devon and Van Augur. Like, I feel like I haven't even touched on 100% of what actually just happened, because I don't know what just happened and the implications of what they just did. Because I know for sure their plan was not to have Katarina Devon turn into Saturn. So who was she looking for? Who was she looking for? Was it supposed to be someone else? Hopefully we find out, because, bro, this chapter was crazy, bro. I understand why we were on break now, because I wouldn't have been ready for that after what happened last chapter. And let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. You're gonna see a whole bunch of buttons under this video. I need you to click those for me. It helps me, it helps you help me, and it helps me help you help me. I appreciate it a lot, y'all. I'll see you on the next video, bro. W chapter, bro.